Hello everybody, this is Fred Stewart again with Stewart Group Realty. I am over in Northwest Portland today in a very historical Cooch building. That's the building, well not Cooch building, we'll call it the White Stag building. Where the big old White Stag sign is. That's where I'm at today on the 3rd floor with a loan officer I'm very excited to bring to you, Jake Planton of Rose City Mortgage. Hello Jake, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, how are you?
Jake, thank you for taking time out of your day today to sit down and talk with us about mortgages. And Jake, one of the things I want to bring up to everybody is I love you guys' company. You guys are so community minded. You have to be the most community minded real estate or mortgage company in Oregon.
Yeah.
And your grand poobah, your boss lady, Renee Spears, she's always been a friend of the Portland community, and everybody at your company has been nothing but an example of what I think all Portlanders in our industry should be like. So thank you for taking time out and sitting down with us. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Jake, how long have you been in the mortgage business?
So I've been in the mortgage business for 12 years now, and 10 years here at Rose City Mortgage.
Wow. Now that's a good number. When you came in, let's see, 2005, oh my gosh, that was back when it was easy to get money, easy to make money, and you've seen it all. You've gone through the bad days.
I've seen it all. I worked at the first job I had in the lending industry was at a subprime lender, back when I didn't know anything about mortgages.
Oh, I got to know which one.
It was called Own It Mortgage.
Oh, I remember that.
And yeah, they went out of business December of 2006.
Yep, and they should have gone out of business.
Yeah, I agree.
They should have gone out of business. No, you definitely did a step up when you came over here with Rose City.
No, for sure.
In the last, let's say, in the last year, what have you seen? How do you feel about the mortgage market in the last year? What's been going on from your vantage point in the mortgage industry in the last year?
Yeah, so it's interesting to see, as the inventory is low and people are trying to buy houses and refinance. It's interesting to see a lot of the lenders starting to revert back a little bit to easier guidelines, making it easier for home ownership for our clients. Also, the technology aspect of what's going on with our lenders is pretty incredible. Some of our lenders aren't even requiring documentation. They do it all automated through third-party companies. So they still verify everything, but they do it in an easier way for our clients.
Now, what kind of loans are these? Are these FHAs or are these Fannie Mae loans?
Fannie Mae loans, conventional, FHA. They're starting to roll out. We have 2 or 3 lenders that have these new programs where basically the client signs into a third-party company and they verify everything like that.
How long is it when a client does that with you? Because this is the direction the market, the mortgage industry was going until we had this thing called the Great Recession that stopped it. How long does it take? Does that cut down the time on closing? I mean, on being able to close a deal? Or?
Yeah. So basically, what happens is the client signs into these third-party websites. They verify everything. The underwriter has 1 page of each, income and assets, and they're able to look at it rather than go through 65 pages of taxes, 65 pages of bank statements, and it cuts down their underwriting time, which makes it faster to close. The Portland market, especially the last year, appraisals have been our issue. Sometimes 30 days to get an appraisal back, and that has kind of been sorted out a little bit. So that helps, along with that automatic verifications, helps the loan process go faster.
How has underwriting been on credit? That's the number one thing I hear from everybody when we talk about getting loans is everybody, even people who got great credit. I was just talking to somebody the other day who had a 680 credit score and they're bummed because they don't think they can get a mortgage unless they're over 700.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I mean, the income guideline, the credit guidelines have definitely tightened up since the Great Recession. But we have lenders that'll go down to 580 with FHA. Granted, the pricing isn't going to be the best, but you can still get a loan with that. The one thing that I'm finding, especially recently, is clients coming to me and they have a ton of student debt, and the guidelines for student debt have gotten more difficult to get through. That is the one thing that I think is going to be an issue going forward.
When you say more difficult, what have they done? And I mean, how have they tightened up? And people, I still think, even if you get student loans, you need to call somebody like Jake and see how this stuff applies to you.
Yeah.
But how have they tightened up a little bit?
Yeah. So in the last year or so, both FHA loans and conventional loans have made it so that if the loan payment for your student debt is not 1% or greater than the balance of the student loan, then we have to hit them with that 1%. So if a person has an income-based repayment plan, the lender will hit them still with the 1% of the balance. So that kind of pushes the debt ratios, which we use for qualifying clients, can push it out of the range where they can get a certain loan amount. Obviously, we can look at lower loan amounts, purchase prices that are lower, which means loan amounts are lower. But it is starting to become an issue with some of my clients.
Great. Now, so this is one of the areas that is, to me, is fascinating because we got so many professionals that have got, student loan debt.
Yep.
Now, when somebody sits down with you and they've got student loan debt, let's say they're a couple, between the two of them they make 120 grand a year, and between the two of them, they got 120 grand in student loans.
Yeah.
How does that really overall affect them as far as being able to qualify for a loan?
Well, we have to follow the guidelines that the lenders put out for us. But there are ways that we try and figure out how to pay down some of those student loans. I've had clients take some of their money that they were going to use for the down payment and pay off a chunk of the student loans to lower that balance, so that way the payment is in range of qualifying. So there are some options, but that is one piece that, especially in Portland, there are a lot of professionals moving here, is starting to be more of an issue.
You've just touched on a piece of information that I'm always going over with people who I talk to who want to talk about getting a mortgage to buy a home is, you know what, don't tell me right now how much you're going to put down. Let's sit down with a loan officer, see what you qualify for, and after you're done with the qualification process, we'll know how much we're really working with for a down payment. Folks, if you just notice, basically what Jake just said is sometimes to make the loan possible or cheaper or just better for you, it's better to put maybe a little less down sometimes, maybe go FHA if you can, then put more down. Depending on where you're at. So you should sit down with a loan officer and go over your qualifications even before you look and find the home you want to buy. Because the loan officer is going to let you know what you're facing for financing and what you need to do to obtain financing, and not just obtain it at the best possible position for yourself.
There are some clients that come to me and they want to put down more money than I would suggest, and I sometimes say, why don't you put down X dollar amount and take some of that other money and invest it in this other thing. It's a better use for their money in some cases, especially if they want to do repairs on the house or if they want to do updates on the house. It makes more sense to do it that way.
Now, Jake, what kind of loans does Rose City Mortgage do?
Rose City Mortgage does conventional loans, FHA, USDA, and VA loans.
Wow, you do VA loans too?
We do VA loans, yes.
Outstanding. How are VA loans running these days?
As far as timelines
yes.
go? Actually pretty quick. The VA appraisals were an issue this past summer, sometimes up to 45, 60 days to get them back, and the last couple that I've had, they get back in a couple weeks. The VA appraisals have gotten more expensive, but it's also encouraging the appraisers to move faster.
Now, another thing I want to talk with you about, Jake, it comes up a lot, and as you know, I've been pushing this a lot myself, is family and friends working together to help each other buy homes. I just told a family the other day with 3 kids in it. They're all out of college now. They're all about ready to get married, and I've said, you know what? As soon as the first one gets married, whoever, you guys should all work together and help them get a home.
Yeah.
And then go in succession like that as a family. Are you seeing people do that more these days than you maybe, let's say, 10 years ago?
I'm starting to see more people tap into their family connections, especially with help for down payment or help to get some extra cash to pay down student loans, so that way they can qualify. And getting a gift from a family member is easy. It just requires a gift letter. Sometimes they do require that the giftor proves that they have the money to gift. And that's pretty much it. And the family can gift 100% of the minimum down payments on either FHA, which is 3.5%, or conventional, which is 3%.
Now, let's go over who can do gifts. Okay, let's start off with this. Family members. And family member is somebody you're blood related to or marriage related to, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, like a brother-in-law, sister-in-law can throw in, and that's on both sides.
Yep.
How about close friends, like, been friends since high school, whatever?
Yeah, so that is an option that they allow in the guidelines. They do require kind of, prove it to them that you have been close friends. I've had lenders tell me that if we can get a yearbook that shows that they were buddies, back in high school, that kind of thing. Okay. I don't think that they have to go back quite that far anymore, but they do have to show some sort of really close relationship. Okay,
what about domestic partnerships? 10 years ago we didn't have domestic partnerships in Oregon, now we do.
Right.
Matter of fact, I think a lot of my friends and family that's in domestic partnerships here in Oregon, they don't even know that there's options for them that there never were.
The guidelines for gifts from family members they're the exact same whether you're domestically partnered, whether you're married same sex or you're married opposite sex. And that holds through all of our programs, including the VA, which some people, because it's backed by the Veterans Administration, they think, maybe they don't look at that. But it is a federal law that same-sex marriages are the same as straight marriages. So
now, gay friends, hell, I just say gay and bisexual friends, you know what that means? That means if you're a veteran, there is absolutely no reason for you not to try to go down and get some of that 100% loan money. You earned it just like everybody else.
Yep, they're considered spouses.
Yeah, the Supreme Court has made its final decision, and everybody's equal.
Yep.
So if you were in the military, even back during Vietnam, back when homosexuality wasn't even accepted, you're a vet. Yep. This is your benefit. You should come down and get some of this loan money while you can. VA loans are 100%.
They're awesome loans.
And USDA loans.
Yep, 100%.
Now, a lot of people don't know what a USDA loan is. What is a USDA loan?
So a USDA loan is backed by the U.S. Agricultural Department, and basically it's 100% financing for areas outside of metropolitan areas. So a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of Oregon is USDA approved. Now you have to go through the USDA system, which can be a little bit more strenuous, but they're great loan programs. It's 100% financing, and you can get a nice place with some property too.
Now, Jake, can you give everybody an idea where USDA loan is approved? Where can they use it? Like, you can't use it in downtown Portland, unfortunately.
Right.
Because we're not considered farmland.
Yeah, I mean, USDA, it's very property specific. So whenever a client comes to me and they say they want to do USDA, here's a property, I have to plug it into the system. But places like Sherwood, there are parts of Tualatin that are USDA approved. It's basically the thin strip of I-5 between Salem and Vancouver.
What about Canby?
Canby, I believe parts of Canby are USDA approved.
Unincorporated Clackamas County?
Yep.
Out there east of Gresham, Troutdale, Sandy.
Yep. Troutdale, I've done loans in Troutdale. And Sandy.
Sandy? Man.
They're great programs.
So, friends, now think about this. You got your 100% financing loan for VA, and we got a 100% financing loan for USDA. So between depending where you want to live, if you're a veteran, gosh, think about it. You get two options now for 100% financing. What are the closing costs like on those loans?
They're standard, and actually the pricing for VA and USDA loans is kind of in line with FHA, which allows for lower rates, and because the pricing is so good, the lender actually pays for a lot of your closing costs and prepaids. So that is another benefit of the VA and USDA loan, and actually FHA, is that the lender credit for the lower rates is pretty great.
Beautiful. Well, Jake, I want to thank you again for taking time out of your busy day. I want to do this again.
Yep.
I definitely want to have you on the group of professionals that we come to from time to time and talk about. Friends, Jake has been in this business a long time. He's with one of my most favorite companies. Like I said, Rose City Mortgage. They're more than a mortgage company. That's why I'm excited to come down here. These guys are very, very, very community minded. To me, they're where a lot of us, including myself, need to strive to get to. And I guarantee if you call Jake, he's going to give you the straight scoop on exactly where you're at when it comes to qualification. He's going to take a little time out to let you know what's the best that you can do to get in the best position to be able to get the best loan. So anyway, Jake, what is your phone number?
My phone number is 503-475-3788.
And Jake, what is your email address?
My email is jake@rosecitymtg.com.
Great. And you're located in downtown Portland in the fabulous White Stag building.
Yep. The
Okay.
Portland, Oregon sign, the infamous Portland, Oregon sign, that's where we're at.
Friends, we're literally standing right under it.
Yep.
Right now. Anyway, hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, this is Fred Stewart of Stewart Group Realty. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Look forward for more videos here because we're going to be bringing more and more professionals for you to learn about here in the city of Portland. This is Fred Stewart, Stewart Group Realty, out.